This is gonna be my first video of me editing my Book of Shadow, going through all of the pages and see what I want to do still on the computer before I do actual handwriting edit. Mm, okay. So about this here is the process that you go through in order to get something done completely. So it's a process that you always go through. And if you get stuck in one place, then you kind of have to go back at it until you get to the next one. The first one, we're gonna write. Oh, what? This is reaching for perfection. And then we have getting help. I've blocked this. Um, then we achieve, which is gonna create some creativity. Then you get to a quiet space, when you get really obsessed with something and then you just need to quiet your mind again. And then there's the disbelief that you feel in yourself. And this is the point where it's actually, so this is the clairvoyant uh, space in this, where you can see the vision clearly, which is why 777 is so significant in manifestation. It's like ding 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 winner. Then we have the control, and what's really important about the control is to release any type of feeling control, and then you adapt to your current situation, and this is where you find peace, which is a release that creates right here. So you have the release, the peace moment, the moment where you are perfectly one with yourself, and which creates the bigger picture. I don't. Oh, like, how do I go to the next page? Hmm. Okay. That one is one of my automatic, like, channeled drawings, based on the fact that elephants have a full moon ritual where they actually go bathe under the full moon. They try to do it every single time, and they do it around midnight, which is really interesting. So we're gonna call this one full moon bath. And we're gonna call it 1212. Okay, so the 12th level is that one. It's called Shmina Moha, which is in the stairs of ascension. Mm. So essentially, when you're still on the stairs, you are on the survival state, and then you're spiritually evolving to every single stages. I studied things on a logical way, so there's a lot of different culture, a lot of things that happens through my book that are based on the fact that I don't just believe in one single ideology. I don't know if there's a way I can film it closer for you to see what I'm doing. Um, I might jump from French to English here. I don't really know what's gonna happen to these videos. I'm mostly making this as a journal for me to understand my own writing. So here we once again have a circle of generation linked with the different the different type of magic and the elements. This is something that can really be used also when building a space for yourself. Um, because the colors are representing a certain way of being, way of seeing things, like the fact that blue is really melancholic, and if you see a lot of blue, that might get your brain into a kind of what seems like a depression state. Which is directly linked with materialism and the research of assets and anything that you can touch, because you feel like you're spiritually starving essentially. We have the source, which is the sun. The moon is the guide. The source is the sun, which is the masculine energy, feminine energy. Okay. Here, that one, this is oxytocin. So the molecule of love, or like the way your brain creates the feeling that we associate with love. And this is grief. Um, essentially, the way you're gonna, this is telling us that the way you're gonna feel your oxytocin is gonna be different in which state of the grief you currently are. uh, we grieve a lot in life. It doesn't have to be linked to someone's death. It can be assets, it can be a relationship, it can be the self. And here we have my current type of personality and the standing ground on it, and the So with this grimoire, what I'm looking to do is to do something with this book here. So this is my actual book of shadow. That I am writing with my handwriting and updating with the things that I make and that makes me happy, the creation that I make that kind of have to be light on paper, like uh, I don't know, like pens or stickers, things like that. So this page explains that. Here we have the what seems like the soft energy, but also the justice. And we have the rebel energy. Um, that is also necessary, but also the rebellion in order to feel some kind of justice, which goes full circle. The pentagram is probably one of the symbols I love to use the most because it's super easy to use and you can basically do it with anything. Uh, this page is basically, I would say, the rules of the book, the rules of the wisdom of the book. You can see this is no longer the first page in here because I feel like it's important to understand these things in order to even get to the gateway of the magic. Here we have I'm very big on cinema, so everything is a lot linked to different things you can watch that can unlock some kind of knowledge. And these are the different Book of Shadows that have been portrayed in things that I like, where I felt like the object was very in link with the actual purpose of a Book of Shadow. And now we're getting one more. Okay, so this is the Tree of Life. I use the Tree of Life a lot, essentially. You know, this game where you jump around no matter how you draw it. Um, so essentially, I feel like any games like this were essentially inspired by the Tree of Life, but also a lot of angels use this type of communication. So here we have the Tree of Life interpreted as planets. I don't know if what I'm saying right now is going to be logical or like working for anyone watching other than me. That's fine. And then here I found that this in this interpretation the crown energy was like the one energy, which is very fitting because everything that takes place in the brain is sword energy, and the one energy is the expansion of the mind. So the way that it goes into the cosmos and connects to more than the self. This is kind of a map in some way of like the inner solar system. That's why I drew our little creature kind of receiving it. Um, I'm gonna have to practice that one with cards. I really try to understand new interpretation of this in order to really be able to apply it in card reading, which I don't do often because it's a long card spread and it's kind of hard to put an interpretation into it ultimately. Here we have my treehouse. I'll probably redo this drawing in some other way. I feel like it's one of my first drawing though that you can just really go in it. Like you feel you can go inside, which is something I really like. Uh, Not much to add. Okay. Uh, so we have the pyramid. If you ever tried one of my journal, I feel like the first one of the journals that I wrote was um the final girl journal, which is not necessarily like it doesn't matter if you're boy or girl or whatever what you feel you are or the energy that you feel you're carrying. So it's really just a name. And I work in this journal a lot with the life force because this journal is based to healing the inner child, and the inner child is uh, only relies on life force. It's about being safe in the place that you are and in your body. And here I have kind of the most uplifted version of this. So the first step here, the presence, I'm gonna put in the five senses because if you remind yourself of your five senses, this is something I learned recently. It's really good to keep you in the moment. Um, then there's reflect or reflection, the the analyst of the event. So especially if an emotional event took place, then you have this kind of afterthought of where you were, where you actually believe you were right or wrong or wronged. Here, guess the feeling or finding the root of the trigger or the the reason why you react the way you do. For validate, um, it's okay to feel the way that you feel. Normalizing, so just reach a place, and normalizing is linked to the ears and the eyes. So I'm here, I'm present, and I can rely on what I'm seeing and hearing as a guide to go forward. And then there's just being genuine. So separate separate the conditioning. There's um okay, of the light spell, what the fire is indicating for us, which completely aligns with the breathing. And your thumb is the original state of your being. Okay. Now we get into organizing space. Here we have the flow of the energy. And then I decided to put all of the different uh, kind of state of being in my case more than like a sex or something that you are. It's like something that can go back and forth also. It's not something that's necessarily stuck here. And there's here the explanation of like ex- for example, you put your bed here, then it with the flow of energy, it's actually you're gonna be drained. If you put it here, you're gonna be able to rest in this space, and then when you wake up, you get right in the flow of doing something or progressing. I don't think there's much to add here either. The shadow unification with the unification of the can, which I wrote as the father path. So to grow into consciousness. So it's grow from the experience into consciousness. Okay, that's about the energetic flow, which I put on top of a bathroom to really like bring out that this kind of cave feeling and the feeling of like being able to seek what you need, which is either cosmic energy, food, breath, sunlight, moonlight, or your higher cosmic energy. So either the earth energy or the energy of the sun, or even the cosmos, not necessarily the sun. Uh, Here we have a list of the Egyptian gods with their this specificity that just aligned best with me. Anything else I'm missing here? I don't think so. Now, what is this? You're like automatically making drawing, and then you look at them and figuring it out can be a bit of a moment. Okay, so here is a it's a wheel that so that's gonna refer. We're gonna call it star. That's gonna refer to that here. Yeah. So we have the very similar wheel here, and talking directly about the hours and the way that your organs are gonna be working. So what is the leading organ at this or this hour? When the other one was a lot about placement, that one is more about the body, so you can both link them together. And here we have Pangea because the being is always all, even if it's separated. A couple rock here because what would this Book of Shadow be without rocks? Probably not much. And then we get into the individual deities that I wrote about. So this is old civilization. Hmm. And now I don't know really. I'm gonna go about them. Um, we've been at this for a little while already, so I think this is gonna be a wrap up for today. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a wrap up for today. So thank you for doing this with me because I've been wanting to do these exhibits for a while now. I haven't been getting to it. This makeup is outrageous. Wow, it's paint in my face. I'm not the one that painted my face. I will keep doing physical training yoga on this channel, also like sensual movement and everything. But the grimoire is something that has been on my list for a long time. If you want to know more like the content, I really appreciate if you subscribe or like if you come see if there's new videos. I feel like that's really gonna motivate me continuing, even though I just really have to get through this for myself. So thank you for coming. I appreciate everyone that is here, and thank you for all of the motivation.